Welcome back to Any Given Monday here with six-time PGA Tour winner, U.S. Open winner at Bethpage, Lucas Glover. Lucas, thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, let's start with, I always wonder, like, as a player, you obviously want to be there. Do you watch the Ryder Cup, Lucas, or no? I mean, I know you got some stuff going on at your house, but, like, generally, are you paying attention?
Yeah, absolutely. As I've said often, I think it's one of the highest honors a person can have in sport to represent the country. And yeah, I've watched a good bit in the past, and yeah, I do. I wouldn't take 3 or 4 hours out of a day, like a Saturday, like I do for Clemson football, but I do pay attention to it and keep up with it. Yes.
Is there any more, like, because it's Bethpage, is there any, like, that makes you want to watch it more or less, Lucas, because you won your U.S. Open there? I mean, the setup seems wildly different. They've kind of cut it down.
Does. Haven't noticed as much rough, and some of the par threes seem a little different. But yeah, I'll find myself trying to remember what a putt does, or what I would maybe be hitting from a certain spot, or where I would try to hit my ball if the pin was here, or the pin was there, where I try to hit it in the fair, stuff like that. But just like anywhere else, anything else where you've played a course a lot or have good memories of a place, you always kind of think about that stuff.
There's a lot of similarities, I assume, to today, Lucas. Outside of the setup, seems easier, obviously, but a lot of rain at the U.S. Open when you won. So, I mean, I think you shot 7 under. But, like, I assume today had a lot of the same feelings that you did a few of those rounds when it was, like, soaked.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it was pretty dry first of the week, and then I think they got hammered, Wednesday, Thursday, leading into the first round. And, I didn't hit a shot. I didn't hit a competitive shot that week in 2009 until like Friday afternoon. Only played 5 holes on Friday. So, but yeah, the only thing I've noticed is looked like they were playing it up, had a lot of mud on the ball, and we never had that issue, believe it or not. We never played it up. It was weird that it never was overly muddy that week. It was just it was almost like it was so wet. The ball
was skipping instead of plugging.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly.
Yeah. All right, Lucas. Let's go back to, like, I always love the process of the PGA Tour, like doing some studying. You had a chip in 2002 that you lipped out on the. Well, it wasn't no, it must not have been the 72nd hole. However many 6 rounds.
108th hole.
Yeah, 108th hole. And you have said that, like, at that moment it was heartbreaking, but looking back, it probably was what's best for you. I think it's such a great insight into that for most players, golf is a multi-year process to get to the top of the game. In hindsight, are you saying that because you weren't ready for the PGA Tour at that time?
100%. 100% was not ready. That happened basically a year after I left college. I went back an extra semester at Clemson to graduate, even though I was out of eligibility. I missed first stage of Q school, still taking classes, and just trying to tie a bow on something and start my career at the same time, which was probably too much. And then I did what every aspiring pro does without status. I went anywhere and everywhere and played Monday'd. I think I played 6 or 7 different tours that year in 2002. And I played nice. I got on a little run on the what's now the Korn Ferry Tour. Had a bunch of top 25s. Ended up playing in different ways 9 or 10 weeks in a row. Whether it was Monday top 25, getting an exemption or 2 into some of those. So I had earned my way onto what is now the Korn Ferry Tour in 2003. Still going to Q school with the opportunity to get my tour card. And ended up, it was on the 9th hole at PGA West, lipped out a chip, ended up starting on 10 that last day for whatever reason. And yeah, it stunk. It absolutely stunk at the time. It was terrible.
Right.
But looking back on it, probably the best thing that happened to me, because I had not played an entire year on one tour. I had not played a full season of real golf and week in and week out where I had to be on and traveling and maturing and all of the things that go into playing and playing well on the PGA Tour. I was not used to. I think that year in 03 leading into 04, I think that full year on the was now Korn Ferry was the best thing for me at the time.
Yeah.
You know, you
but
asked
I
me
assume you're not, that took years, right, Lucas, to like come to that. Like any kid coming out of college with the college career you had, and like you're like, I'm ready. Of course I'm ready. What do you mean I just missed it by one shot? Like I'm fine. Like
it took 5, 6, 7 years for me to come to that conclusion for sure. Because like you said, everybody that's had any success in college or, you know, first team All-American or won some tournaments or, you know, had a good run in the USAM or whatever it may be, says, man, I'm ready. I'm going to get out there and just blow it out. And there's not many that have done that. There's been a few, but not many. But just from a traveling standpoint, learning golf courses, just all the things that go into having a successful year on the PGA Tour is a lot more than I think what a lot of people understand or think about until they look back on it. But yeah, it took me a few years to realize that. And I think I was 20. I think I just turned 23 when that happened. And I needed that year playing with people that were better than me and that wanted the same thing I wanted, which was to be on the PGA Tour and everybody fighting tooth and nail, and the money wasn't what it was now, or wasn't what it was, or wasn't what it is now back then. And I mean, it was scratching a living together.
Yeah. Lucas, I mean, we all talk about the golf, and maybe, I mean, of course you had the talent, but what you just touched on is kind of the things that a lot of fans don't talk, like how to practice, how to not be tired come Thursday, how to what you do in a practice round. Like, especially, I mean, college golf has changed drastically now, but back then the jump was huge. And so that's it, right? Like, you probably just like talent to talent may have been able to make it on the PGA Tour that year, but there's so many things that go into playing well Thursday through Sunday that you don't know what the hell you're doing, right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, let's think about it. So I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina. Jay Haas lived there, married into a family from Greenville, and he lived there. And fortunately, I always was able to practice and play where he was a member. And so at the time when I got on the PGA Tour, I want to say Jay was 48 or 9. And so he had been on the tour for 25 or 6 years. Do you think he had more experience and knew the golf courses and knew how to travel and all of those things better than me? Absolutely. So I'm expected to go on the PGA Tour as a 23-year-old rookie and learn golf courses that Jay Haas has been playing for 25 or 6 years at the time, literally. And I'm doing that for the first time. And, I've got to travel, which I've never done alone for a full year. So and I got to be ready on Thursday and, not be tired. And, I'm not going to get in this week on my numbers. So now I got to go get ready for the Monday. And, I got to rest. And, I got to eat good. And so, I mean, all the things, right? And, I'm not, I'm not just throwing Jay's name out there for any specific reason. I learned a lot from him and looked up to him all those years, and just a great example. But there's a learning curve there for sure. Q&As, pro-ams, I get asked a lot about what my week looks like. And when I tell somebody, they go, really?
Right.
Really? I say, all right, so I got a 7:50 tee time on Thursday morning. They said, what time you get up? I said 4. They go, what, 4 till like 6? I go, no, like 4 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Golf, and they said, well, what do you do after the round on an early day? I said, well, I practice and work out. And they go, well, what do you mean? I said, practice and work out, because then I got the next day to sleep in a little bit, but I just don't think the general public understands, especially now, that training and nutrition and recovery is such an important thing to us and for us, and especially me at my age now. What goes in hourly or daily on the PGA Tour to get ready to play and each day. So to say you expect a rookie or expect a young guy to come out immediately and compete, that takes a special talent. And, we're seeing more and more of it because college golf is so preparatory now for success. It wasn't even close to what we're seeing now when I was coming up.
Back to your Q school, I think you finished T39. I think there was 38 PGA Tour cards or something to that effect. That's obviously down to 5. It's not. So you've been outspoken about that side of golf, Lucas. I want to take it from a different perspective. What has been the feedback? I mean, you're probably one of the few, if only, that I can think of, top players that has been very outspoken about the changes. A lot of players I talk to, they just don't want to fight the fight. So has there been any fight, Lucas? I mean, and I understand it's not a fight. Just, has there been discussions? Has there been any relationship changes based on what you have said? Have you given any thought to not saying anything going forward?
Yeah, actually, I have. It's I've just come to the realization very recently that I'm fighting an uphill battle, and probably a battle that can't be won, and can't be changed, and that's sad. And the U.S. team is getting criticized this week, and will a lot going forward for getting paid. And sadly, our sport has become too much about money, in my opinion, and we're seeing that come to an ugly head by, they cut 25 tour cards, which is basically 25 tour players' jobs, and at the same time cut, 40-50% of the workforce in Ponte Vedra because of money. And they're saying it's because of pace of play, and they're hiding behind that, and still will and always will, but that's just garbage. That's not possible. And access to the PGA Tour is going to be even more difficult. Access to the Korn Ferry Tour, thus, is going to be more difficult. And what we're going to see is not growth of the game anymore, because it's so hard to get to the top level. We're going to see a decline eventually. And that's been my biggest, at the end of all of my rants, at the end of all of my things, I always just say, could somebody please, that has the power, just do something good for golf? Just do something good for golf instead of doing something good for a multi-millionaire tour player. So I have come to the realization, sadly, recently, that the people that agree with me, and there are many, 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 many tour players that agree with me, don't have the nerve to say anything outwardly. So nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And the model
is the only hope in that, Lucas, is that guys that believe what you believe in, and you're obviously talking to way more, but I talk to a lot of guys down the money list, or below the top 50, that are like, say exactly what you're saying. They just don't say it publicly. Is the hope? Do you take any hope in the fact that those guys, when they become that portion of people, become the decision makers, that they don't pull the ladder up? Is there any hope for that down the line, or is it kind of like, this is what we are going forward?
Yeah, that there is that hope, yes. But the business side of it is going to outweigh those decisions, because the model that we have adopted that is solely around more money, less players, more money. There's no way the toothpaste is out of the tube. So you can't all of a sudden take 8 or 9 signature events, 6 or 7 without a cut, and these guys making a bunch of money to keep them from going to the Live Tour, which is why we did it to begin with. All of a sudden you can't reel that back in. Say, all right, bigger fields again, less money, purses are down.
Right.
Okay, well, then what happens? Everybody leaves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the hope, to be fair. Yes, that is the hope, that somebody that's 99th on the money list, scraping by, all of a sudden becomes the next Scotty Scheffler and says,
Sure.
you know what, this is crap. But is that likely? Probably not. But it's just a shame that more people won't speak out, because I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people that have benefited from it, like myself, don't like it.
Right.
But the money's, they're just giving away so much money that nobody's going to say anything.
Yeah. And your point to the quality of product overall is, I've used this stat many times, Lucas, is at one point it's changed because I did this stat like a year and a half ago or something, but 15 of the top 50 players in the world got to the PGA Tour in a way that will be gone in 2026, right?
Yep.
And there's no way to measure that, because we aren't going to know that we're missing out on someone. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to miss out. Now, not all 15 of those people wouldn't have made it to the PGA Tour. That's not what I'm saying. But whether it's 2 or 7, they have made golf better because one of the top 50 players in the world. And over time, they aren't going to make it. So that's what we're doing, right?
And to piggyback on that, I did not know that stat. That's a wonderful stat, and I'll put that in the memory bank for sure. But there's several instances of guys winning a tournament that is now a signature event that propelled their career onto bigger and better things, major wins, et cetera, that at the time they won that event, if it was a signature event, they wouldn't even have been in the tournament.
Yeah. And
several of those guys were the biggest pushers of this new model. And that's that saying we use, you climbing the ladder and pulling it up behind you. Well, you wouldn't even have been in the field if it was a signature event, and that propelled your career. So now you're going to push to keep people below you from having the same opportunity. It just doesn't add up. And I've said this a ton. We're the only sport that's limiting.
This is it. This is the right quote. Yeah. This is it.
We're the only sport is limiting opportunity and shortening our field and telling everyone that that's more competition. Yeah. So I was told point blank that that's what our models, and I'm using air quotes, models showed the public wanted, the fan wanted. Okay, great. So, but don't tell us that, it's for more competition. No, you use lesser players, that's less competition. And you lose out on Eric Cole at Honda, which might have been the greatest story of 2 years ago. I mean, that guy was a journeyman pro. He lives a mile from where I'm sitting. Love the guy. I was going to call him a kid, but he's not a kid. We'd have lost out on that. Or under this, because he would have never made it. And it's a shame. But we're gonna give the fan and give more competition. But less players. Sure. No. Yeah. My granddaddy would say, "Don't pee on my back and tell me it's raining." Right. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
100%. The public isn't either. But but we're the only sport doing that. I don't get it.
Yeah. I on top of the 15 out of 50, but. I use Neil Shipley, right? Like marketable kid, like done it, like had exemptions last year, finished like within the 200, had 4 starts to start the Corn Ferry year, and missed the first 2 cuts, and then got played well enough to keep his card. Now he's going to be on the PGA Tour, but he was literally 2 starts away from not having any status and 2 missed cuts. And when if he did that, and there's so much harder to get to the PGA Tour, kids are like smart, like super smart. He just goes like, okay, like this isn't for me, man. I'm not going to grind.
Yeah.
Those are the stories we're going to miss out on because those doors are closing. Or Neil Shipley's not even getting starts on the Korn Ferry Tour anymore because everyone's coming down from the PGA Tour. I mean, like the Korn Ferry Tour next year is going to be PGA Tour light, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean the access is already limited. It's going to be more limited. And let's use a baseball model here. The Korn Ferry is supposed to be the up and comers, the AAA, supposed to be the Paul Sox, supposed to be the the Scranton Wilkes-Barre farm team for the Yankees. It's supposed to be AAA. It's supposed to get everybody ready, and now you're going to have a bunch of tour vets down there playing, and the 22 and 3-year-olds aren't going to have anywhere to go. So yeah, it's a shame, but maybe somebody will launch another tour that's a competitor that has some better access and pays these kids what they need to survive and live and figure it out. I don't know. I mean, like I said, somebody do something good for golf. Good grief. I mean, we're gonna kill it at its highest point. I mean, post-COVID, we were at the best state golf could possibly be in. People are wanting to be outside. They're starting to play. They're playing more. Clubs are figuring out that nobody has time for 18 holes. They're building 9-hole places, 12-hole places, and man, golf's cool again. And now it's like, it's still cool for the 60-year-old rich white guy, but it's going to be harder and harder for access. And Tiger Woods ain't coming around again, folks. I'm sorry, he's just not. There's only one of him. And that boom we saw for 20 years because of him. And, a lot of people think it's because of them and, this and that. No, it was because of Tiger. And there's one of him. And we lived off of his popularity, all of us, for a long, long time. And when people in Ponte Vedra realize that there's not going to be that boom again, maybe things will change. But as of now, they still think the whatever they're doing is right. Yeah.
Any conversations with the new CEO, Lucas, or was your frustration kind of like, had it kind of built up to a point of like, okay, this is pointless by the time he got around?
Yeah, no, I met him there in Hartford. He was great, very nice. And I think I missed his call when he called me. He did call. I missed it, and the player relations staff has tried to get us in touch, and I've been reluctant. And honestly, just decided that I didn't need to have that conversation. When the new schedule came out, they added another signature event, took another full field event out. That was kind of it for me. That's what made me realize that it wasn't changing and it was going to get worse. I mean, they pulled out a full field event, put in another signature event at the worst possible place in the schedule.
Guys are going to have 2 half-point starts between the PGA and the Masters. The Masters and the PGAs.
Yeah, exactly. And, and I know your listeners can say, well, Lucas, you don't have to play in them if you don't like. Well, I'm not stupid.
Right.
My
listeners are on our side, Lucas. My listeners are the nerds of the world that want.
But that's been a lot of.
I understand.
That's been a lot of the pushback with me.
You're not discounting all the benefits you have of them. You're talking that's the problem with golf is like it's a very selfish sport, and I appreciate that some of the top guys are in a position to make themselves a lot of money, and they're watching their friends, former competitors, walk away and make hundreds of millions. But at some point, somebody's got to say, "Is this what's best for the future of golf?" Not just player A, B, and C.
Exactly.
Someone to do that.
And I thought for a minute that could be me. And when the new schedule came out and all I'm hearing is the same conversation: money, 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 money. And when's the last time anybody talked about the charity initiative of the PGA Tour? When's the last time anybody talked about the billions of dollars that we made for charities across the country and communities where we play? Nobody talks about that anymore. Why not? Well, it's because it's not a focus anymore, unfortunately. The wholesome family atmosphere of the PGA Tour is gone, overtaken by money, and more money.
Yeah.
And it hurts. It hurts somebody that 21 years, next year will be my 22nd year. And for 18 or 19 of those years, it was this warm feeling of being in an organization that gave back. And that was our big focus, was the betterment of the game and propping up charities that needed us in their communities. And then it's gone. It's gone. That as soon as you have to do what we had to do to prop up our treasure chest with private equity and all the things, I mean, it's gone, and it stinks. And that was another thing that really made me want to speak out, was that it's not how it was, and it just seems dirty. Honestly, it just seems kind of.
Yeah, that's a word I've used a lot. The top of pro golf feels very dirty. Like it's very dirty. Like
it does.
We're making signings and we're wearing it's like more like find ways to make these guys money. And, again, the Ryder Cup is the same. And it's just, it's sad. Okay, to that point of what is a business, 5 years, you're going to be eligible for the Champions Tour. Will it be there, Lucas, for you in 5 years?
Well, that really, really, really popular guy that I mentioned a minute ago, if he
holds all the keys, right? Yeah, right.
If he decides to go out there and play,
it'll be there.
It'll be there.
It'll be bigger than ever. Talking about more money.
100%. And so I think he holds the cards there too. And I don't know. Even the few times he's played in the last couple of years, unfortunately, those events have gone crazy. And I mean, the dude still moves the needle. It's so impressive. That would be the best thing that could possibly happen to the Champions Tour, is if Tiger commits to playing, even if it's only 5 or 6 times out there. Might be beneficial to him too, because then he can ride a little bit and not have to walk so much, and then he can still play his majors and the tournaments on the tour he wants to play. And if he commits to playing out there, that tour will take off like never before.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard, Lucas, feeling how you feel to be motivated for a season, or are those two separate things? Like you've had like an amazing career, 23, unbelievable. But also realistic that at 45 years old, you're like at the tail end of your career. Yeah. Are you able to separate what you want to accomplish next season and how you feel about going out there, or is that impossible to separate? Like, no, you won't feel as good about where you play. It is going to affect your motivation to play.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. The motivation is still there for sure. I want to play great. I actually played for the entire season this year, probably better than I did in 23, even though I had those couple of wins and all that. But the motivation's still there. Competitive juices are still there. Can definitely compartmentalize it, and it even motivates me some to play well. So maybe my voice does carry a little more weight. So a lot of motivating things, a lot of ways to be motivated. Just got this off season to rest up, get super healthy, and come out swinging in 26. And know my schedule 90% of the way. I still got to play my way into some majors, but I'm in all the top 50 signature event things. So got a great opportunity next year, and I am able to compartmentalize those things. But can also use the latter part of that question as motivation.
Yeah. That's a very good point. I didn't think of. Yeah, like you want to hear your voice heard. You win 3 signature events, they're going to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Lucas, thank you. I know you got some work going on at your house.
Yeah.
Hiding in a corner room or whatever. I appreciate
Yeah.
it very much. I appreciate the fact that you speak up. It's obviously the side of golf I cover, and it's I understand all the players that I talk to that don't want to speak up. It is frustrating to talk to all these players, and then people, the general public, think that like all these players think it's great. No, about 12 players think it's great.
Yeah, exactly. You're dead on. Well, we appreciate you sticking up for us, and I keep fighting the fight.
Awesome, dude. Thanks, Lucas.
Thanks, Ray.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.